very much for being interested in SciSymbio. We envision a future where scientists and artificial intelligence form a true symbiotic partnership that allows us to achieve great things, such as curing different diseases, finding new materials, or coming up with new inventions that nobody has ever dreamed of. The way how we contribute to this vision is by developing an AI lab companion that helps scientists to automate the boring and tedious task of their daily work. And in our first iteration, we are working on an AI lab companion that automates documentation for lab chemists. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate you our current state of technology with a small experiment that I will be carrying out, and I will show you the results of our automated documentation workflow. As a disclaimer, none of the labeled chemicals that are shown in this video are actually those chemicals, but they are basically just pure household items for demonstration purposes. So let me start with showing you our first prototype of our hardware, which is a clip-on camera that is mounted on standard safety goggles for the lab. The battery is placed at the back to lower the weight at the front, which makes it more natural and lighter to use for the user. But the form factor will definitely change as we progress with this venture. Let me connect the camera to the phone, and then we can start with our experiment. But before I do that, I follow actually the normal workflow of a normal experiment, how everybody would do it in a natural way, which starts actually with the planning phase of the experiment. So here we developed our own dummy ELN system just for demonstration purposes. We can just log in with our Google account. Oops. So this is what you usually see in the ELN systems. So we go to experiments, we can create a new experiment. We can label it as we're planning to do curcumin extraction. We can add some additional information about what we are doing. We can also give the steps of our planned procedure that I've already planned through. And then we can start with our experiment. So let me go into the application where the camera is connected. We can select which kind of experiment we are doing, how accurate and thorough we want to do this experiment, and then start with the recording. Okay, now let me start with putting on some gloves to be safe. And then we can start with our experiment. So we will do an extraction of the organic phase with ethyl acetate. We make sure that nothing spills over. So then we have some kind of aqueous phase that we will use for the extraction. Okay, the aqueous phase is nicely separated. To make sure that we can separate it even nicer, we can add some brine solution to it, which is a saturated saturated sodium chloride solution. Okay. Let's wait a little bit. Okay, we can. Okay, and now we can collect the extracted curcumin. Okay, great. Now we're gonna remove a little bit of the solvent. We can. I don't have a rotor vapor. Okay, then I can go to the incubator and get my HEC 293 cells. First, I'm going to give new medium. So I'm adding DMEM. And finally we add 2 drops or 1 drop of the curcumin. This time it was 2 drops, okay. So, oops. And now we place the HEC cells back into the incubator. Okay, so this was the experiment, and now we're going to have a look at the actual documentation that is being generated. We can stop this, we can upload it. Okay, so while the video is being processed online, I can give you also a brief demonstration of the lab companion feature that we have also already implemented. But this one is currently implemented in a separate application. Will be implemented into the same application that we are currently working at, that I was currently recording, to make it seamless for the user to get also the latest information that he needs for the experiments. Can you briefly tell me what is experiment number 1? What are we doing here?
Experiment 1 is all about curcumin extraction and dosing. You're extracting the curcumin molecule from an organic phase, concentrating it, and then dosing HEK 293 cells, followed by a viability assay.
Okay, I've just finished step number 5 of the procedure. What's coming as a next step?
Step 6 is next. You'll drain the upper yellow organic phase into a clean beaker.
Okay, I finished the procedure and I put the cells into the incubator right now. So what is happening? What should I do next? How long should I wait?
The cells now need to incubate for 24 hours. After that, you'll perform the MTT viability assay to check for toxicity. Also, remember to discard the remaining organic phase into the waste flask.
Can you actually search what is an MTT assay? Can you search for me for more information?
I've already searched for that. The MTT assay measures cell viability by detecting metabolic activity, where living cells convert the yellow MTT dye into purple formazane crystals.
Okay, great. That's just like a short demonstration on how this should work later on. So let's have a look at the video that has been hopefully already generated. So this is our YouTube for experiment, that's how we call it, where all the videos are automatically uploaded and processed for the documentation. Okay, the video is ready, so now we can go into the video. And then we can have a detailed breakdown of what is happening every step along the way. You can see when we were operating with the hex cells or adding some liquid. You can also go to the more detailed analysis where you have full transparency on what step was happening along the way. You can always jump to the specific time point. Then we can link it to the ELN experiment that we were doing, for example this one, link experiment, and then yeah, that's done. And we can jump into the experiment directly as well, where we can find basically the procedure and the comparison of which steps we have then actually carried out. So we have carried out all the steps, therefore they are crossed out, and we can jump also into the specific time points where different procedures were happening. And this is being basically implemented into the ELN, like connected to the ELN directly, and we have full transparency on what is happening in this experiment. You can watch like a procedure summary, see what chemicals we have used here along the way, what equipment we have used, and link it to the ELN. So yeah, I mean, this is basically it. We have plenty of ideas to extend the functionality of this tool. It's still very early days of this development, but we are certain that this technology and the usage of this technology can bring a lot of value for lab scientists that are struggling with the documentation, keeping track of information, troubleshooting on the fly while they're doing experiments. And I think, well, we think that this approach that we are going for can create huge value for lab scientists in the lab, saving them a lot of time and ultimately being more productive in their research activities, which ultimately saves a lot of time for the researchers and the institutions they are working for. Yeah, we are very happy to show you this, and we are also very happy to hear your feedback on everything that we are doing right now. And we will start with our first customer or our first client, basically with AstraZeneca, to iterate on the development of this tool and developing a business use case that we want to implement in form of a pilot to showcase the usefulness of this tool to also the business related part of the company. And yeah, I think we have already outlined our plan and our path forward for the next 2 years. And this is how we are going to achieve this. And yeah, I'm very happy to get your opinions on what we are doing. And yeah, with this, I want to thank you and goodbye.